Hey guys, so I'm in a graveyard. That's right. Why am I in a graveyard? Well, I'm in a graveyard because it is Passion Week. Good Friday, Easter, all that's coming up this weekend. And I was thinking about Good Friday for you guys. And my one question is, what makes Good Friday good? What makes Good Friday good? Now I'm going to pause there and say that a lot of times I don't really um, do a whole lot of like God talk and in very specific ways. I'm not tying a scripture verse or a hymn to everything that we do, that type of thing. But I thought, with it being Passion Week, Good Friday, Easter weekend, oh, and there's a pandemic, and we are a church youth group, that if there was any time where perhaps a little God talk would be a good thing, that it would be now. So bear with me. It's going to be super short. My one question: why is Good Friday good? Which brings me to my one story. And that story is just more talking about something that happened a little while ago today and many years ago, which is this: music. My wife had a playlist on from some Netflix show, like the soundtrack for that, and you start listening to the lyrics. They're all popular songs from recent years, and one after one, the lyrics were like just talking about how the artist was just sucky in the way he or she treated people. I really like this person. I want to be in a relationship, but I'm just no good. I'm always the person that messes things up. Or let me be honest, I used to be a player and I still kind of am. And I'm like, what the heck's going on? Why are we listening to this guy talk about what a loser he is or she is? And, then it hit me that we listen to that stuff beyond cool beats and, cool hook or whatever, is that because in some way we identify with something that is there in the song. And maybe it's sometimes we're like, yeah, I would like to be in a good relationship, but man, I just mess things up. Or yeah, a lot of times I know what I'm doing isn't right, but I'm doing it anyways. And so there's a connection there. There's an identification, which brought me to the fact that before I married Annette, before I even knew her, I was this hopeless romantic guy that any song as I'm driving down the road, any song that ended up talking about finding that special someone or being that special someone, and just, I was all over that. And I was like the guy who knew all the words to the Beauty and the Beast song, because tale as old as time, oh my God, that's what I want. And I identified with that song. No matter how cheesy the songs were, I'd identify with it because that's how I felt and that's who I was, or sometimes acted like. Which brings me back to the question, why is Good Friday good? Good Friday is good because it is a time where we can say, God, Jesus, Son of God, understands, identifies with the human experience of loss. God, Jesus, the Son of God, showed compassion and kindness to everyone, and that was the result. The cross. God, through Jesus Christ, was killed by people because he cared. He identified with the poor. He was kind. He offered life and happiness and peace. And because of that, he was killed. So we can have Good Friday be good. One reason for that is this: that we can take a few moments and say, you know what? God identifies with our human experience. That sometimes, no matter how good, kind, compassionate we are, life sucks. Bad things happen. There's hurtful stuff. But we know that this was not the end for Jesus. And we believe that there is an Easter coming for our lives as we do kindness, as we offer peace and happiness. And maybe the pandemic still rages and maybe bad things still happen, that's not the end, that there is something else to continue to hope for. So why is Good Friday good? Because one, we know that God identifies with the human experience of loss. And number two, that there is still something to hope for. We call it Easter in religious settings, and hope outside of that. So I offer you hope today. If you're feeling down about something, if you're worried about what's going on in this world, it's okay to say, hey, this is really crazy. And live with that. But know that you can still hope. Good Friday is good because Jesus suffered like we suffer. And then Easter's coming, and we'll talk about that in a couple of days. Peace.